Hey guys, Phil here, and so yeah, I bought a 3D printer. This is the Sunhokey Prusa i3. It's got a couple of upgrades. As you can see, it's printing pretty quickly, but it is not printing with the stock hot end, and I've replaced a couple of parts, so I'll go over these right now. First thing you can see is the x-axis here, so this part way over here, and this part in the middle. All of those are printed parts. I'll put the link down below in the description. I think the name is the Simple X version. I can't remember who made it. Right now I'm just printing the Octopus by Lulzbot. Because I have just put a E3D version 6 hot end in here, this thing right here. It isn't an original one because I don't have the money for that. I bought it in China off of AliExpress, but it's working pretty well. It's going pretty quickly for now, as far as I can tell. So it's working okay, as you can see right there. I love watching this print. Even though I've had this printer for quite a while now, I don't know, I still enjoy looking at the plastic as it comes out. So as I was saying, this X carriage here has been replaced. Well, this is the X motor and X idler part over there. This in the middle really is the X carriage. But doesn't matter. The extruder I've replaced because the stock one is pretty much garbage. It isn't too good. This is I believe the Simple Bowden extruder it's called, by Schultz. I'm not sure, again, link in the description down below. It's pretty popular, it works really well, it's really easy. You just have 4 screws, so three here, one underneath, actually 5 since you've got 4 here plus this one. Just a Mark 8 drive gear and 608 ZZ bearing. Here it is closer. So that's the bearing, that's the drive gear. So there you go. For the screen, actually let's talk about the controller first, because then you'll understand. So I don't know, I fried my controller, the Mark's MKS Gen 2Z or whatever it is, the original controller. I don't know why it stopped working, so I just replaced it with a Arduino Mega and RAMs, which works fine for now. I just have an issue with the MOSFET here for the heated bed doesn't work, and I tried replacing it in the pins with the one for the fan, but when I replace it both of them work, but I can't use the fan MOSFET because this polyfuse here heats up too much because the bed requires too much current. But I ordered AC heated bed, so I have a solid state relay, and it'll be replaced soon, so I'll have a heated bed soon. So for now I can only print PLA, but that's fine because that's mostly what I print anyway. So as I was saying, for the screen, she'll focus. The problem is it doesn't work because when I ordered the RAMS board, I forgot to order the adapter for the LCD. So the cables are just here. Because on the original board the connectors were already on it. The adapter is nothing fancy, it's just to adapt the pins. But you probably know that. So I ordered that too, so I'm just waiting on it, but the LCD worked fine. So I printed this part here for it, this little black piece. It just slots onto the acrylic. Because if you have it stock like this, when you press, the board really goes back. I don't know if you can see this. It really goes back, so this is just a brace, pretty much. So when you press it here, if you look, the board doesn't go back at all. So it is pretty scary when the board goes back so much. You do get kind of afraid of breaking it. So other than that, I haven't changed much. Here you can see some WD-40 to keep the bearings lubricated. Yeah, oh yeah, I've put some, actually I'll show you here, it's easier to see, some, just some pieces of cork under my printer, if you'll focus. There you go, come on. There you go. Just some strips of cork. This was from like the pieces of cork you put on your wall, you know, and you can pin stuff onto them. I just cut 3 strips out, so I've got one in the middle, one at the back here, I don't know if you can see, like this thing here, and one here, just to cut a little bit on vibration. To be honest, I haven't noticed much. Oh yeah, and I have this really weird problem with my printer. Sometimes it'll just stop for a while, and I don't know, wait, there you go, you'll see this better. Ooh, that's strobing. Man. Can you zoom in? So, there, sometimes it'll send like a K, OK or something, and the communication will time out. That is a really weird issue, but I've ordered another Arduino Mega, and I believe the problem is the serial communication chip, because at one point I kind of connected stuff badly and smoke started coming out, so it is my fault. So I've ordered another Arduino Mega, but I'm pretty sure if I just print off of SD I won't have this problem. And actually, a tip, if that ever happens to you, what I did is here in the printer settings, you have to set the set the communication timeout. I don't know if you can see. There you go. To 5 seconds, because the default is 40, and if you set it to 40, the problem is you start getting big blobs on your print. Yeah, like I'll show you. Like here. Right. I will zoom in. Like here, I don't know if you can see, on the side there's a big blob. So what happens is the hot end just, it stops moving, so plastic starts oozing out, and you have that problem. So yeah, see, now it stops. And the thing is, before it would stop for like 40 seconds, so you would have a big blob of plastic on your prints, and that would be pretty ugly. So that is sort of a way of solving it, but not really. I ordered a new controller, so it's fine. What else? Yeah, the printer works pretty well, I have to say, for the price I paid. I'm very happy. I paid about 280 euros for it. I mean 220 plus plus import taxes, which you do have to remember, this thing comes from China, so you will have taxes. I hadn't thought about it, and I was actually surprised when it got here. FedEx was asking me to pay for taxes. Anyway, yeah, the plastics they give you, see over there, this roll here. Come on, focus. I won't focus. Focus it by hand. There. That roll right there behind this one here of that's ABS. Actually, I'll show you like this. This one here, it's ABS. The rolls of plastic they give you, they're not the greatest, but the problem is they're wound pretty tightly. So when you get to the end, see, unlike this one here, which is a roll of plastic made in France, actually it's pretty high quality. It's good, it's cheap, but it's good, so if you're outside of Europe you might have trouble buying it. I'll put an international link down if I can find it, because I believe they ship worldwide, but I'm not sure. So anyway, as I was saying, the problem with these rolls is, well, when they get low, the radius of the plastic, so you know the radius on this one will stop like pretty much around this point here. So it's still pretty big, but the problem with those rolls is the radius will be like basically this hole in the middle, the plastic going around, so it's going to be really tight and it's going to curl up and it's going to break really easily. So be careful with that, which is kind of disappointing because there actually is quite the plastic left before you have to throw the roll away. So be aware of that. What else? That's pretty much it. Yeah, next up I'll put 2 time lapses of prints I did. They were actually before I replaced the hot end with this one. I've just did that. I did that like an hour ago, and it's working pretty well. There are 11 minutes left on the print. I can show you a couple of things it's printed. So this here, for example, is actually a test. It's a bicolor, 2-color little figurine. Oh, come on, focus. Let's just go into manual there. So what you do is you print the first the legs in white, then you pause it, change the filament to blue, and then print with blue. So if you're interested, I might make a video about it. It's not very hard to do. You just have to modify the G-code a bit. What else did I print? Yeah, I have this this skull here. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's a low polygon skull. Again, the link will be down below. So it came out pretty nicely. It didn't have too many of those bubbles, you know, I told you about. So I quite like it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I recommend this printer. It's pretty good one to get started with. The assembly instructions are not the clearest, but they're really not hard to follow. But like the cable management, some steps like that are really are skipped. Like they don't tell you anything about them. The nice thing is they give you these encased bearings. Here you can see. They give them to you for everywhere, but since these pieces here don't use them, I had to take them out, which is pretty easy. But just know if you're not comfortable with doing that, just order some off of eBay or AliExpress. They're pretty cheap. They're not too expensive. So yeah. Oh, I haven't talked about the build volume. It has a standard 20 by 20 heated bed, which works pretty well, but you know, I can't use mine right now, but I've never had any problems with it. It's about, they advertise 180 millimeters in height. I think I've never gotten that far because this Acme rod is a little short, but that's fine. Now that I've replaced the hot end, actually it's a bit shorter, so I might get the 180 millimeters in height, but I doubt it. Anyway, I do recommend this printer. It is pretty good. The assembly, as I was saying, is not very well documented, but it's pretty easy. It's nothing hard. If you just have to be patient because it is pretty long. It took me about I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. So yeah. Anyway, this is a very good printer. I recommend it. It's not the best, but you know, for the price, what do you expect? So yeah, thanks for watching. Like the video if it was useful to you. I actually put the link from the seller whom I bought it from in the description. I think they're not the only one, but they're the official like Sunhokey sellers. So you know, if you're buying a clone, at least support the company that makes the clone and not the people that just buy them and then resell them. Anyway, thanks for watching, be safe, and definitely expect more 3D printing videos on this channel. Bye bye.